And I just wanted to, kind of get an idea of how she's feeling, how her experience has been. So we know you moved 2 years ago. I want to know what made you choose Houston, Texas when you decided to move, especially considering that your twin sister lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. So what made you, of all the cities in the United States, what made you choose Houston, Texas?
I know some people have some other reasons they think are associated to the choice, but in 2020, I first visited Houston in October. I never had been there before. Me, my sister, my other cousin, I don't know why we're just random. Like, let's just go to Houston. Netta was in her own little world, so it was me and my other cousin really, and we were like really exploring, like going to like Emancipation Park and like going to Grooves and going here and going there, and I was like, yo, I can see myself living here. I could really see myself here. Like I automatically felt like, I don't know, like at peace or like I already automatically felt like this was home. And by then, I've been to Charlotte at least 5 times, right? No, not 5 times. And then I moved in 2020. I only been to Charlotte like once, that was 2020, right? I only been to Charlotte once, right? So I'm like, okay, let me just keep considering. Kept visiting. Went to Houston 2 more times that year. We won't get into why. And then I hadn't gone. I didn't go again.
Why have anything to do with why you chose to move there?
Then the next year, I went in 2021 for like a conference, UIU. So I hadn't gone for a while after I went like December 2020. I didn't go again until like August. But Houston was still on my mind. So I was visiting Charlotte. I went to Charlotte in February. I think I went again that year in July. Like I was visiting Charlotte a lot. And every time I would go to Charlotte, I'm just like I don't see myself here. Like I would always have like that feeling like something is missing. I'm using someone's quote. Something is missing. Like Charlotte is a cute city. I say it all the time. It's nice. It's fun. I may end up there. I don't plan to, but I'm not someone sitting here saying that I'm not a tree. I'm not stuck anywhere. But every time when I thought about what I was escaping from New Jersey, especially given that I moved a little later than Nena, right? I always knew that, okay, I want to move somewhere. I don't want to start moving around. Like, I don't want to go somewhere first. Oh, check it out. Go somewhere. Like, that's when you're moving, maybe in your like 20s, early, mid-20s. Like, I don't want to be moving every 2 years. So that's what also I kept in consideration. Like, even if I moved to Charlotte, like, I feel like after a year or two, like, I'll be like, is it somewhere I really want to stay? So I started looking into jobs down here. I had like a temporary license in my field. It wasn't working out. Things just weren't working. Funny how when I got licensed here, I got my job that is fully remote, and I was like, maybe this is like a sign, like let me just do it. And when opportunity came, February 2022, I just made the decision like I came back from Nigeria that January. I'm like, I need to move by next month. I need to get out of it. Like I was so over New Jersey, so over living at home, so over the cold. I'm so over everything. And at that point, I talk about in my videos, if you watch about, looking for apartments, I do regret that. I should have moved in March and used February to maybe save up more and then come and visit apartments first. Because since I knew I had in my mind I wanted to move to Houston, I would visit like apartments a few times that I came. I looked like a few places, right? But I never really sat down and like did like apartment tours, like went to various places. No. So that's what I should have done. So yeah, I think it's really what drew me into Houston. Is I talk this a lot about my first year update video. In my first year update video is like the culture, the people. It was the year of the pandemic or whatever, and like you would barely even know because everything was open. People are out. Like it was so much. It was a little different. I'm not gonna say it was on the same level, and I don't know Houston pre-pandemic, right? Because I didn't visit until after the pandemic in 2020, so it wouldn't be fair for me to make a comparison. But I just felt like when I first visited, like this is home. Like I see myself here, and that's why I made the decision.
Okay, so what do you dislike the most about living in Houston, Texas? Come on, you know this stuff. Stop acting like Houston is perfect. You know this.
I'm trying to think. I think going out can just be too expensive. Like I went out this weekend, right? Give me an example.
Yeah, Charlotte, we don't have that parking issue.
They go out on Saturday. Went out Sunday. I spent $52 on parking at 3 spots. Like I just feel as if those stuff, like
that's not a lot for 3 different spots.
Each place 20. Like, why are you charging $20 to park? I feel like that's too much. Like I just feel as if like it's something, like, and it's like I'll be real. What motivated me to go because like, okay, I'm going to spots. I'm not spending there, so it's not that big of a deal. But like for people that really want to be outside, you're going to like. I feel like people are already coming into the establishment to spend so much money. why are you charging them to park? That's the way I look at it. Like I just feel like it's somehow like it's very annoying. So I feel like going out in Houston could be a bit expensive. I talk about this in my videos. What I wish I knew before moving to Houston, Texas. Um, that being said, maybe it's unfair for me to compare it to somewhere like where I'm coming from, New Jersey, because it wasn't a lot to do, So you're just going to eat. Usually they have restaurants. Restaurants usually have parking lots, and all those places, malls have parking lots. So it's like maybe I don't have a realistic expectation based on where I'm coming from, right? What should I say? I don't like about Houston. I get when people say it could be a bit big, right? But I do think that's why where you choose to live is so important. I didn't know that moving in, so I would say maybe I regret like my first location. Like it was affordable. I didn't like the apartment. I didn't like the location. So I think that maybe that would be one. And what else? What would I say I don't like about Houston?
Lovely said, don't you think the traffic is
Yeah,
bad in
it's
Houston?
bad, but because I don't drive that much, I wouldn't sit there making like, oh my God, because I'm not someone that's stuck like an hour in traffic every day, right? But the traffic is bad, and it wasn't something I was prepared for. Even though people in the video were like, you should have known, blah 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 blah. Relax, I didn't know because, like I said, when I first came to 2020, it was still that period, so things were not like the real. I didn't see traffic. And what else did I say I don't like about Houston? Mm, I think one thing, and I've mentioned this in some of my videos, I think Houston could be a bit segregated. And I think that being that it's such a diverse city and there's people like from so many countries across the world, so many languages spoken here, as well as like 162 countries represented in Houston alone. Mind you, we have like what 194 or something, like 192, depending on what you're counting. So it's so diverse, but I still feel as if like it could be, it's very segregated, very social wise, social scene wise.
You mentioned the parking, the spending money on going out, segregated, and it being too big. Okay, what do you like the most about living in Houston?
I like the weather, despite people like look what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing a dress. It's 70 degrees today. I'm wearing like literally a dress. I went to run errands. It's February. I like the weather. I know it does get a bit hot for some people. I understand. Like I say, I don't work outside, so to me, like the heat is not that much of an issue for me.
Stop being a smart mouth. I don't
So
work out.
I'm saying, like, for people that like have outdoor, maybe like they're driving place to place, they have to really be in the sun. Like I'm telling you, I don't even feel the heat here to an extent because everywhere you go, the AC is even too high. So I like the weather. I like the food. I like the culture. Um, I like that there's always so much to do. Like coming from where I am, coming from somewhere like New Jersey, I know what it means to just be so bored and like really want to have things to do and like not have it. And I feel like being somewhere like Houston is like the total opposite. Like I'm always rejecting stuff. Like it almost makes me numb because there's just too much going on. Like I can't go to all these places. It's too much energy. I have to pick and choose. Like it's almost like never a dull moment. And I feel like that's something I know how it feels to, experience the total opposite. So I don't take that for granted. And yeah, I feel like Houston has something for everyone. When I talk about there's always something to do, I feel like it kind of ties into the fact that Houston has something for everyone. And like I feel like no matter what your interests are, what you like or don't like, I don't see you coming to Houston and being like that disappointed. That's my personal opinion because I feel like it caters to a lot of people and it has a lot to offer.
Okay, so there's a popular belief that Houston is really bad for dating. A lot of people, like even guy friends I have, said like Houston is one of the cities he's seen that there's so many professional, pretty women who are not married. Like he feel like it's an epidemic there, right? So do you feel like it's wise for someone to recommend like a girl that's not married, no children, she's looking to settle down? Would you still recommend someone in that demographic group to move to a city, a big city like Houston?
All right, so we talk about this a lot. Like it's funny, you got to bring this in. Where's me is at? Me is at. But I love this question. It's a great question, and we harp on Proverbs 18:22. The power of life and death, is in the tongue, and I get it. Like, trust me, I have guy friends, and they're like, oh, all my friends in Texas or Houston, they all struggle with dating. It's so bad. But I ask these people, okay, so what are you comparing it to? Like, where's better? That's my number one question because according to me and what I know, there's no city where I see women having the great dating experiences and it's so amazing and it's so superb. Trust me, anyone that knows me personally, y'all know my story, right? Like I said, one day I'll come here and do a testimony. That video will get a million. That'll be our viral video, at least 100K views. When the spirit leads me, not everything is for social media, right? So y'all know but despite that, and despite what I personally experienced, I had this in my notes for 2023. It was actually a really good, and I don't say really, there were some things, but I actually dated the most in my life in 2023. To like legit, like in terms of meeting people, going on a date. It came to a point I was just even just like, I think it was yesterday because I was preparing for this live. I was even counting. I was like, wow, like this is a lot. And not to say, anything may have gotten to where I wanted to get, or maybe I wasn't crazy about it getting to somewhere, right? There's other factors that contribute to it. But I just feel as if when people say that, I just feel like I'm very curious to know what are they comparing it to, because I feel as if Houston's issues, yes, there's some things that are a bit specific to Houston based on the demographic that exists here, and I don't want to get too detailed, right? But I feel as if these are issues that people in any major city are going to experience. Like I don't think it's specific to Houston per se. Like I think it's just part of the city life. I haven't been online since being in Houston, right? So I don't know whether people going online may have different experiences. They may make it worse. They may make it better. I probably most likely worse. So I don't know, right? I don't know if that's a part of it. So when people say experiences are bad, also a question I try and understand, delve deeper, is that they're saying they don't meet people, or they meet people and those people are not quality or not what they want.
Actually, it's a combination. But
Right.
okay, that's good. That was a good summary. So let's take some questions from the audience. Lovely said, "You ladies look nice." Thank you, Lovely. Good question. Hi, Evie. How are you, Mia? Hey, Mia.
We've been looking for our response to your comment. I'm like, where is Mia?
Hello, ladies. Hi, 90s baby. Mia said, "What things do you wish Houston had that Charlotte currently has?"
I don't know. I don't want to spend 30 minutes thinking, but let me think. What do I wish?
Y'all
Like a
don't y'all don't have STK, right?
Oh yeah, we don't have SDK. That's in Dallas. That's so I would, and honestly, like I said, there's so much in Houston I'm yet to explore. I won't even sit here and lie. But one thing I will give Charlotte, I really like the spot, and then there's a little spot Crave. And I don't know. I'm sure we even have somewhere named Crave, but I don't know if we have that type of like a cute little dessert bar, like where there's like nice, not nice music, but like chill, like that type of vibe, something like that. We have a lot of cute restaurants. We have a lot of stuff. So I don't want to misspeak. I haven't been to it. It probably is in existence, but I would say that. What things do you wish Houston had that Charlotte currently has? I don't think there's anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, Mia. Justina said, "Is living in a rural area better for a single woman?"
I think I get it, right? In terms of a rural area outside of a major
I think so.
city,
I think a rural. I don't think rural like country, but I think like a smaller
like
town.
an hour or like an hour and a half from major city. Because when we say yes, and no, is that in the sense that someone could say, "Oh, it could be harder to meet people because there's not as much social stuff," but you can go to these major cities and meet so many people and they're not serious, right? So I think that when people are a little further out, we talk about this, it kind of makes them have to calm down because they're not, the city is very distracting. Like I said, Houston's the fourth largest city in America. There's so much going on. People are so distracted, men and women. Like the lifestyle here, like it's very different. Like I'm telling you, like I used to think, oh, Houston's the South. Oh, no, no. Like these people are fast. Like these are not some slow.
I can say Charlotte is slow.
They're not these slow country bumpkin. Like when people think of Southern people, no. Like it's a different lifestyle here. So I do think that a lot of people, men especially, can get very distracted with the lifestyle. So I do think that sometimes when men are, that specifically, we're talking about a single woman, so she's looking for a man. I'm assuming a heterosexual relationship. Usually, single men, you meet guys when they're like you. Let's say you go out like to a convention or something, and people are from all over the place, and you meet guys who live in like some weird place. They seem to be more serious.
Mm.
Like they don't go out and see a bunch of beautiful women. They don't go out and have outside this networking club, this and that. So like I feel like even just when you just compare the type of attention you get from those type of guys, it's usually like more because they don't, even let's say from a different city that's not as lit. They not, it's hard for them. But with that being said, I still believe that there's still good people in these cities. There's a lot of people that'll tell you they're in these cities, they don't know what's going on. They don't go out. They can't. The rodeos coming up. This they don't know anything. They sit in their little box and they just know what's happening in their life, and they just in their own little world, right? So those people still exist within cities, within the Atlantas, within the Houstons, within the Charlottes, within the LAs, within the New York cities. Not everyone in the city is really like
Outside.
the city life that people think. Some people are there just for work. You know what I mean? They're just there for whatever they're there for. Like they're not pressed. So I think it can go both ways, but I think that if you're going to be somewhere rural, I still feel as if like my thought process is meeting the person. That's my thing. Like where how would you guys cross
Are
paths? If
you
you
saying there's not people in rural, there's not young
you're not
people
listening
in
to
rural areas?
what I'm saying in terms of I get what I'm saying. Like there's things, there's still churches, there's still events, there's still weddings. What I'm saying is that like depending on how rural we're getting and where are these places, I feel like it could be a bit challenging, like just crossing people. If we're talking about the amount of people you can meet because of the amount of things happening, but we know quantity doesn't equal quality, right? So it's not about meeting the most people; it's about meeting people that are of substance. And are you frozen?
Okay. Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So next question. What type of Africans are there in Houston?
I just know there's a lot of Nigerians and Cameroonians. Honestly, I don't know about many other countries to be honest, and maybe biased because of the circles that I'm in and the things that I go to and the people that I'm around. But I feel like if I meet someone who's African, they're usually Nigerian or Cameroonian. Like I feel like those two
That's
are
not
like
Charlotte.
I feel like those two are heavy down here. But I feel like there's a lot from everywhere. Like
Lovely
that's
said, Justina, no, I live in the rural area and you're bound to come across more families.
That's another factor. Like,
So
think
this
it's
is
very
kind of weird.
family orientated, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's different if the man live in a rural area. I think there's another conversation, but like, I think it could be a hit or miss. I don't know. Mia Chica said, "Have you met any potential?" Here you go, Mia. You've been going for how many weeks, and this is what you're coming back with. I know you. Have you met any potential guys in Houston that you see long term, or you just see them as a fun time? Well, I'll be honest, where I'm in my life, like I don't really date, I guess, just for a fun time, like just solely. Like I just feel like I don't have that energy, patience, or time. But I feel like I've met people that I could see long term, but it could be, timing, it could just be other factors why it didn't really work out or why like it's still in the works. But I think I've met reasonable people in Houston for sure. I was going through the questions. Now, Abby said, Houston, I think has good prospects. Now that I'm no longer a non-dater, I feel excited to explore my options now. Abby, bye. Bye. All right. Is it rainbow friendly? It's a conservative state, right? I mean, there's some areas I know Montrose really is. There's definitely some areas I go to Whole Foods and I see like a lot of like same sex couples and like the Whole Foods I go to. So I think it's just I know people have this stereotype of like the South and it being very conservative and rigid, but you have to remember we're in a major city, right? So it's not like I'm in Lubbock or I'm in like some like place like backwoods or something. Like we're in a major city, so everyone's going to be represented here. And that's culture, race, sexuality is going to be is everyone is here for sure. Everyone. Darius Brooks said we met on Facebook. They're like family. Oh, nice. So you're gonna be here to share for y'all 10-year reunion. Y'all gonna have fun. So then, do you have any more questions for me?
No, I don't think so. Mia said, do you feel that you have to keep up with the Houston lifestyle? This is a good question. Like the females, style, cars, body wise, etc. Like in Atlanta. Do you
Let
feel
me
that
tell you,
pressure?
honestly, I went out Sunday night, right? I went to this spot. I don't know if people know like Seaside. I'd never been there before. I was just there like for 30 minutes. My cousin was celebrating his birthday. I came so late. I'm bad. So when I was walking in, I was just seeing the girls. I'm just like, wow, like this is something else. Like, this is Sunday night. Like, I'm very casual. Like, girls are like wearing like club dresses. Like, when I say club outfits, like everything out, like small waist. I talk about in my video. These girls, they're not afraid. Small waist, body out. There was some of them was looking good. Like, I'm not here to hate on them, but I'm just like it reminded me when I have these conversations about like somewhere like Houston. I keep saying like Houston's not a slow city. Don't think because you're in the South like people here don't know what's going on. It's very fast. Like these girls, people are they move in a whole other level. So for me personally, I think just the type of life that I live, how I was raised. Okay, no one. I don't like when people say that they can't be peer pressure because that's a lie. Right? You went to school because everyone around you went to school. You do things on a normal because other people are doing it. No one's that unique. No one is that infallible. No one is so strong that everyone gets influenced. But there's levels to it. That's how I personally feel. So I don't think that I mean, it could be a positive influence, right? Like you want to come out if you don't want to come out looking crazy, like you want to come out correct because you don't want to embarrass yourself. If you say something like that, yeah, like I'm not gonna walk around like maybe like how I could walk around in a certain city looking very like basic or something because I don't want to be laughed at. Like, I want to, if you want to stand out, like you got to come decent because the girls they come out, they come correct. If you say in that sense, but like, nah, yeah, I don't know style. Yeah, the style, cars, body, the body one, style. Yeah, it's a lot happening down here. I won't
Abby
lie.
said, that's a great question. 90s Baby says, sounds like Miami. Lil Ernest, how's rush hour traffic in Houston? Do it drive you crazy?
I talk. I'm because I mentioned earlier. Everyone that's coming in, please like the video. Please like the video. Um, I mentioned when I in my first year update when I first moved here, I was seeing a personal trainer who was like close to where I live now, like 5 minutes, and I was living very far. I was in the Memorial area, and when I first went to do a consultation where I was at 4 p.m. during the week, and I left like my apartment like 3:30, it was like 20 something minutes away. When I started going to her for my 6 p.m. appointments, it would take me anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes to get to my personal trainer. That's when I really understood like Houston traffic is bad. 6 weeks after that, it was supposed to be 12 weeks. I did 6 weeks. I had to stop it. It was so stressful. My cortisol was like high before I even started working out. Like just going through that traffic to get to the gym. So yeah, the traffic is bad. It's like what number 8, like top is definitely top 10.
But
Traffic.
because you work remotely, you're not affected.
Yeah, I can maneuver around it. Like I know the time to go out, even if I drive now, based on where I live, everything I'm going to is close to me. So it's not like I'm going somewhere like super far, like an hour or 30 minutes. So like it's not bad for me.
Hmm, okay. He said, I noticed that women don't wear their natural hair down here. I get so much attention from wearing my afro. Maybe it's a sudden thing to keep hair done. Interesting.
I think it's a look, right? Because even me, I talk about this year. I really want to wear my hair out more. My hair is very thick. It's a lot of work, but I do think that a lot of women, especially Black women, have the idea like when your hair is out, like you look kind of plain or like you look young. Like if you want like that baddie look that I feel like a lot of women go for, it's like the frontals, the very long hair, like the very full, big, like very like that glamorous quote unquote look that they're going for. So I could definitely see that because I think I've noticed that as well. Like I feel like people definitely like always have their hair done versus like wearing natural hair out. Like it's not as big of a thing down here. Not and also the weather. Don't forget the weather because this Houston weather, having your hair out with this humidity, you're gonna have to be doing your hair like every few days because it's so humid.
Okay. Waves 360 says, which city do you think moves the fastest between Atlanta, Dallas, and Houston?
I think
I think Atlanta. I think Atlanta's
I think
faster than
Atlanta
Houston.
still topped us slightly. I think it's still Atlanta. Definitely not Dallas. Dallas is third. Definitely not Dallas.
Me is asking everywhere. Midwest, you got to keep your hair done too. Weave, natural hair, etc. Darius said it doesn't matter what time of day, traffic is always bad in Houston, even late at night. Okay,
So I'm talking about my second year experience and like how it's changed from my first year experience. Number one, I'm in a new place. When I filmed my first year up there, I had just moved here. So this is 1 year I've been in my new apartment. I definitely feel like it's changed my experience because, like we say, even when you talk about moving to a new location, the location within the location matters. If you move to somewhere and you go move like in a very rural part of it, the experience is going to be very different versus living like in the city part of it. So I think that moving where I am now, that I'm closer to things, give me the opportunity to explore more, it give me more energy to explore. And I feel like I've definitely gotten to learn Houston so much more being where I am now. Also, last year I didn't travel like internationally. My first international trip was like end of December to go to Nigeria. So I feel like me staying local also forced me to explore my city more because my first year when I moved here, I was traveling for work, personal. I was traveling like every month, sometimes even multiple times in a month. Like when I think back to it, it was so exhausting. And of course, there's several factors. You move somewhere new, you don't have as many people, you don't know as many people. I didn't like my apartment. That was another factor. So I wasn't as comfortable there. So I wasn't as pressed to be there. Like there was so many things that contributed to me like moving, like traveling so much in 2022. And last year was like the complete opposite. Like I was really in Houston, like really here exploring. And then and when I talk about exploring, like I didn't travel to city more, yeah, like museums, went to my first rodeo last year, doing like other activities. And then I would definitely say, being that I'm here another year, I've definitely had more time to build community, right? So by my first year update, I had friends, I knew people, but of course it wasn't like I am now, right? Another year of meeting people, another year of building connections, another year of strengthening friendships. So I definitely feel more comfortable and like I have that community this at this point compared to like where I was a year ago. Um uh yeah, so for the people watching, I know the title I'm saying, am I staying in Houston? Am I leaving? What am I doing? I think you guys probably have an idea based on what I've been saying, but I am staying in Houston. Yes, I renewed my lease on Saturday. I will be here. I'm not going anywhere, at least not for now. And like, even at this, I can't even think about moving anywhere to be honest. But like, I just feel as if like I just really like where I am. I like where I live. I like my city. Like I'm comfortable here. Like I haven't had like a something that will push me and say, "Oh, go somewhere else." Like it's not a job. It's not like a negative experience. Like I'm happy where I am. So Houston, we here, we here at least for now. So I'm excited. In terms of things I have planned for this year, I want to explore Houston more, but also explore Texas more. Last year I kept crying about going to Austin. I never made it. This shit, no. I'm not even gonna talk and jinx myself. I'm not saying anything. I have to go to Austin. I even want to also go to San Antonio. But I said, let me start small. Let me start with the one. And I think that's part of it, like kind of just overthinking it. Like Austin is literally an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. Like it's right there. I can even just go for a night, Saturday to Sunday, and like just
Go for a day trip and come back an hour and a half.
it's like a day. I want to really explore. I want to, go out, see, have a full experience. So I definitely want to, check out Austin this year. Then we'll talk about San Antonio some of the time. But I want to explore Texas more because I think Texas is just a really great state. It has a lot to offer, a lot of great, like big major cities that are coming up rapidly. So I said this year I'm going to visit Austin. I want to attend an NBA game. I didn't get to do that last year. A football game. I believe it's the Texans. I haven't been to that. I've been to a baseball game, but I haven't been to a football game. And yeah, like I'm excited. I don't know how many years you have to be here to kind of be like an adopted native, but
Definitely not to. Definitely not to. Because sounds exhausted, like natural look. Lovely. I wear my natural hair straight. I get a lot of attention here in Dallas because most girls wear weave. Men do appreciate a natural look, especially if you're attractive. I heard the Dallas girls come correct too. I heard they're baddies. Is that true, Lovely? Yeah, I think in general, wearing natural hair isn't as fully adopted yet to feel like a baddie, like Ngozi said. But I get a lot of people that ask me if it is real, says Lovely. Hair. Yes, LOL. Evie said, like I don't attract as the typical Houston man when I wear my afro versus wedding weave or wig. I notice more wigs than anything in Houston because of the humidity.
girl, the humidity, straightening hair. You just doing it for a day event.
Evie was clapping when you said you're staying in Houston. Signature Cole says Houston, baby. Is
Um,
Houston a good place for an introvert?
like that's a great question. Like I said earlier, I feel like Houston has something for everyone. That's my personal opinion. Because when you say something like an introvert, does it mean that you don't care for going out or you just don't care for being like in that rowdy rah 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 scene? There's so much. Literally minutes from me, there's like 10 museums. Legit. I've only been to like two, one with Nana, one with my brother. Like I said, I have to go to the other one, MFA. They have La Jardiniere, very popular restaurants inside there. I'm like, I need to go there. Like I keep dulling. There's like there's activities, there's sports. We have three sports teams. We have NBA, we have football, we have baseball. There's college sports. I just
You
went
just
to.
said you know what I care for, so stop talking about museums. Pictures not.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying. When someone's introvert, to me, is like, what else besides eating? There's restaurants here everywhere. Like, what type of activities? Because when people say introverted, you still have something you like, and whatever you like, Houston's gonna have it. That's
Introvert is different from a homebody. Introvert just means you're not you're not really sociable. You
yeah.
don't watch your way to talk to people. That's what an introvert
And
is.
then how does that impact where you're going? If you're telling me that, does that mean you just don't want to go out at all? Because the introverts still go, they still have interests. That's the point I'm saying. Whether they want to go there and socialize or just go and do it by themselves or not really be all up in people's face. Can you see yourself living there forever? I could, for sure. Like I don't like, but like I say, I'm not someone stuck on like, oh, I'm here. Like I said, my mother's not here, my father's not here. I'm not a tree. Like I can always move, but I don't have an issue with staying in Houston long term. Like it's not like, oh, I have a time clicking, I gotta get out of here and this no.
Okay. Are you going to purchase a property? They have gorgeous townhomes.
Me and my friends actually talk about this on Sunday. I think she's in the chat. And I think that it's difficult, right? Because at points you feel like, oh, Houston is expensive and people go like to the suburbs, but even now suburbs are expensive. Like nothing is cheap or like as affordable as it used to be anymore. So I feel like people keep waiting because of interest rates, but you keep waiting and things keep getting more expensive. It's risky. But I don't know. To be honest, like I download these apps. I never go through them. I never open them. Like it's just never been something I've been that interested in, to be honest. But maybe later on down the line, things will change, especially after renting for a while. Because I feel like I used to have this conversation with one of my former friends, I guess, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm tired of renting." And I'd be like, I get it because you've been paying rent like for like 7 years. Like, no, I don't think that's something to do with it. I'm like, I do think it has something to do with it because the more you're renting, the more you can feel like you're wasting your money. But I
Yeah.
feel as if I'm still enjoying the renting experience, to be honest. Like I'm not like at the point like, oh, I'm ready to have my space. These people, their food is smelling like this and that. Like, of course, like there's pros and cons both ways, but I don't feel like, oh, I'm tired of renting. And then also I'm very picky with my neighborhood, right? Where I would want to live. And I'm just being honest, I can't afford to buy where I like in Houston. Like I can't. So I don't want to just go buy and then go buy
Rent where you like.
exactly like where I am now, but I can't afford, at least not by myself with one income. I can't afford at this moment to buy where I like. It's not possible. You know what I mean? So like I don't want to just buy just to say I have a house and like I hate it or like I don't care for the neighborhood or like it's just not like so it's a lot of things you consider, but maybe later down the line. But right now I'm not really thinking about that.